Which is more damaging, ghosting the person or letting them know, hey, listen, you just not what I'm looking for right now?
Letting them know.
So you really done, like really.
Everybody, how y'all feel? Man, you tuned in to another Sunday Night Live episode, right? Well, you with your relationship coach Clarence Brown. You already know. For those of y'all out there, you can just call me Coach Clarence, or if you know me, just call me Clarence. You already know who I am. But anyways, guys, man, thanks for tuning in tonight, man. I want to talk about something, right? So when it comes to how we use social media, how we use dating apps, and when I say we, I mean men. A lot of women, don't really fully understand the true difference in how men use dating apps and how men use social media to be able to, have, some gain for their own personal enjoyment of what their own personal, things that they're looking for and searching out. So tonight I want to break down how men use social media and dating apps. Okay, so just for the formalities, go ahead and get the housekeeping out of the way. If you aren't a follower, go ahead and follow. If you aren't a subscriber to the Male Translations page on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. And something special, today I wanted to show y'all the yellow version of a new design for the smart merch line that I have through my website. So since everything is relationship healing, of course, I wanted to bring forth some message of positivity for you to be able to wear on your own, be able to look stylish, and also let people know that if you bring in chaos and negativity and confusion, please stay away. That's not what we own. So if you haven't been healed, don't talk to me, right? So for those of you, especially the women that reach out to me and say, hey, man, why is it, Clarence, I seem to always meet the same person? Why is it that the same type of guy always seems to approach me? Like, I'm sick and tired of it. And so I had you in mind when making this design, because for the ladies out there that feel that way, this is going to allow you to be able to express the fact that, hey, listen, I'm trying to move toward prosperity. I'm trying to strive for greatness. I don't need you coming into my space and ultimately bringing down everything that I'm building. So if you haven't been healed, if it's something that you're not on, being healed and being rectified, made whole and restored, then please, please, please don't talk to me, right? So this is the yellow version of it. I have it in black, red, white, and a couple other colors. But what I'd like for you to do is remember that if you can't actually tap in with some of the other areas that I'm also engaged in with social media and everything like that, then what you can do is you can scan the QR code that's on the back. What I decided, like I said, smart merch through the QR code on the back. You can always keep contact and always know what's going on with myself, with relationship healing, with Male Translations podcast. Why? Because that QR code is going to always keep you updated. Number two, if somebody want the shirt, somebody like what you rocking, and they say, hey, where can I get a shirt? That QR code they can scan and get their own merchandise as well. So I wanted to bring forth to you that something new, that's something that God imparted in me, and now it's come to fruition through the design of the shirt. And I like y'all to support me. I love it if y'all would go and grab your own shirt so we can all let people know that if you haven't been healed, please don't talk to me. Please, move in your own direction. Let me move in mine. Don't interrupt what I got going on. All right. So show your love and support by going to relationshiphealing.co. Grab your shirt. Just click the merch tab and on the website and get whatever shirt you want. This is one of the designs. I have one that says melanated and loving it. I have another one that says somebody's healed son, and one that says somebody healed daughter, just to let people out there know that, hey, listen, that's who you're dealing with. I seen the meme that said, hey, I'm on vacation with somebody healed son. And I just took that and ran with it. I said, hey, listen, if you're a male, you somebody healed son, no matter what age you are. If you are a woman, you're somebody's healed daughter, no matter what age you are. But these are pieces that not only align with the brand, but also give you something to rock, to wear, and feel good about the fact that, hey, I'm healed or I'm healing. If that's not what you own, then please. So we're going to move and get right on into it, right? So again, the topic is how men use dating and social media apps, right? And so what I want to try to get through is that, hey, for some of you ladies, you might already know. You might already know. Hey, listen, when it comes to dating apps and social media, like, men use these platforms in a certain fashion. Women do as well, but at the same time, there is a small minor difference because of the mindset of the individual using the app. So for a woman, I know a lot more women genuinely say, hey, I want to try this platform to see if this is an alternative to have me be able to meet the man of my life, the love of my life. Now, the same can be said for men, but for the most part, it's different. For the most part, we're using them in that way. A lot of guys, I'm not going to discount and discredit the guys that actually are trying to connect with somebody and find that love of their life. But for the most part, it's with different intentions. So, ladies, I just saying that to be aware, because even as a man, I'm not speaking down on men, but I can speak from experience when I was single and I was using dating apps. Back in the day, it was Black Planet, it was MySpace. You had the Spanish one was like Mi Gente or something like that. Now there's so many more. You got Christian Mingle. You've got I don't even know. I'm married, so I'm trying to off the top of my head think of the ones that and so I don't really know all of the apps right now, so forgive me. But you get the picture. The picture is that with all of these new platforms, even Facebook, even right on Facebook, they have a dating app a part of that as well. So with all of these platforms, ladies, I'm just trying to break down that the intention of men may be different from the intention of women, which is why when it comes to dating apps, certain women find it to be, even more of a, chaotic space, even more so than just in person to person contact, because what you don't understand is that from a man's perspective, we're using it a little bit differently than you use it. So I'm gonna break that down and get on out your way, but I wanted to make sure that I touch on this, and I want y'all to be able to share this with somebody, because if this is not something that you're going through, somebody else may be going through it. It may be something even that might be down the line for you as far as an option that you may consider to find somebody that you want to date. And ultimately, it's all with a purpose, right? It's all with the purpose of saying, I want to connect with somebody. I want to find somebody like-minded, like myself, and ultimately see where it goes. It might be a friendship. It might be a relationship. But for the most part, when we talk about dating apps, it's to find somebody to date. But the attention, not the attention, but the intention behind the person who's behind the camera, behind the mic, behind the keyboard or the cell phone, you gotta recognize what the majority of the intentions are when it comes to men. So let's get right into it. Let me bring this up, and we're gonna get right into the nitty gritty. You see me? All right, so. There we go. Okay, so for women, I'm some of this might sound discouraging, but it might make you feel like, oh well, I kind of knew that already. For some of you that use social media and dating apps on the regular, or just that's a part of a way that you connect with people, and you just kind of use that as one of the extra social media apps. You might not look at it as a dating app, but it may sound discouraging. Some of the things I'm about to tell you, I'm trying to make it quick. I got four points that I want to break down as far as how men use social media and dating apps. All right, so in the end of the day, here's the number one, in my opinion. Okay, this forgive me, it's my opinion. Okay, so your opinion you can put in the comment section, or you can have your own comments, DM me or whatever, reach out to me. But remember, this is just my own opinion. This is what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what I've enacted myself as a single man using social media and dating apps as well. So number one is a man uses social media and dating apps as a fishing tool for women, right? So like I said, some women may say, hey, it's the same thing, even though I'm looking for one person. Ultimately, you just casting your net, throwing your rod out and trying to see if what you get back is sufficient enough, if it's meeting the standards of weight, length, all the criteria that you might, see as a good partner to be with and to be in your life, yeah, you might say I'm gonna use this as that type of way. But ultimately, when it comes to men, dating apps allow us to have to basically cast a net instead of a rod, if that makes sense. So when you think about somebody who's fishing, if they're on a pier or they're at the end of a river or somewhere like that, and you pass by them in some fashion, what you see is they're either casting a rod or they're casting a net. So when it comes to and again, listen, I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that this is what it is, right? And myself included. I've been that same single guy that says, hey, instead of me talking to one woman at a time and trying to find Mrs. Brown, let me get on one of these dating apps to be able to cast a net, and that way I can be able to interact with multiple people at one time instead of doing it, because hey, time in this life, we know time is the only thing that you can't get back. So in order to save myself some time, I'm gonna go ahead and get on a dating app, put myself out there, make a profile. That way I can interact with multiple people at the same time and hopefully shorten this searching process. So when it comes to a man, ladies, just like I said, for the most part, we're using it as a fishing tool for women. If a man is single, he's saying to himself, I might not have malicious intent, but I do have selfish intent. I am trying to actually service myself and my own needs, and therefore I'm going to use this platform for me to be able to fish, to get multiple suitors, to get multiple interests, and see what fits me best, right? And in life, it's the same way, but when we specifically talking about dating apps, it's almost like saying, hey, I'm gonna cast a broad net, as opposed to when you speaking to somebody, like you can't speak to, like, think about it. If I'm a man and I'm single, if I go out to a night spot, or if I go out to somewhere that's a social event or whatever, even if I find many women at that place attractive, I can't talk to all of them at the same time, because all of them gonna feel disrespected. They're gonna feel like I'm playing them. They're gonna feel like that I'm trying to play and this and that. So the dating apps allow me the discretion I need to be able to speak to multiple people without, being looked at as like, I'm a piece of crap, right? I'm trash. And we all do it. We all date. We all are, trying to find that right person. And oftentimes when someone approaches us, we already have someone who we either are talking to or in a relationship or just have interest for. And that's across the board. That's men and women. But yet, think about it. It's the same in reverse for women, but it allows you that secret veil to be able to say, hey, I'm out here, I'm single, but don't judge me because I find multiple women, or if you want, multiple people attractive, because in real life, that's what happens. If I even see, like, it's been times where I was talking to my wife the other night. I said, it's been the same night I got my wife's number, I got 5 other women's number that same night, right? So as I'm telling her, I'm like, listen, I'm trying to place face with name and all of this and interaction from the time I got her. So if when I got my wife's number, she was like the 4th number I got, period. You know what I mean? And this is something, we married now. I'm telling her the honest truth. I'm like, when I met you, I had got 6 women's number that night. Now, the story that y'all know is I met my wife and I didn't call her till a month later after I got her number. Now, God made it to where we work out and now we married. We 10 years in, 9 years in. But at the same time, the point is that in person, when I had gotten 6 numbers in one night, I'm not trying to boast or brag. I'm just saying that was a good night for me that night. On average, it was like 2. You know what I mean? To be honest. So, hey, I was, must have been the cologne that night. I was doing good. And now the next day comes and I'm like, which one was the one? I don't even remember, because it's in a dark space. Sometimes you're intoxicated, you mixing and you mingling, and then you forget who is who. Now with the dating app, I can go back and say who had interest in me, who did I have interest in, and I can click and make sure I associate face with name and name with profile, and now I'm able to keep track. But the point is also, if that night my wife saw me getting another woman's number, of course I would have had to answer for that when I did speak to her. Because ladies, that's how y'all are, man get a number. It's like you want to be the number one and the only one from day one. And it's like y'all don't do that. Y'all be out here, I'm whole dating, like, listen, I'm not going to be tied down. And, when I meet someone that I feel like I'm comfortable with, I'll get rid of everybody else and I'll focus on that one. Right. But when it come to men, y'all want to be the number one from day one. And that's unfair. That's a double standard. If y'all know me long enough, I hate double standards. But we're going to move on. How men use social media and dating apps. We use social media the same way y'all ladies use social media. All right. Nowadays, dudes don't even want your number. They just want your social media because they want to know what you actually doing out here in these streets. Right. Because a lot of things that you may do is documented. Instagram, Facebook, your pictures, your videos, your posts. All of that is a documentation of your life, personality, and who you really are. So I know guys that you don't think, ladies, y'all the only ones that be CIA in it and be doing all this background research. And no, yeah, those men out here are doing it too. Now let me see what your gram look like. Let me see if you busting it open and you bending over and doing all of this. If a guy might still say, hey, well, I just really wanted to have sex anyways, it might not affect him as much, but now I'm able to see what has been documented on you online through your social media. And don't think just because you got my social media that I'm not checking yours. And that's how a lot of guys nowadays are looking at it. They're like, listen, I'm trying to see because you ain't going to shame me. For sure. Pastor Doja said, I can't be shamed. And I feel him on that. And so as a man, that's what we looking at. We looking at, man, man, listen, I don't know about that. Now you can be, some late night action, but you can never be Miss Brown if I go to your social media and everything is a look back at it shot, you turned over your shoulder, and all of that. Like, come on now. Now that might be good for being single, but if your plan and intention is to be in a relationship and that's all that's documented, that's going to show a version of yourself that even if it's not who you really are, well, you're going to have to convince me otherwise. Because from what I see documented on your page, you touching your knees and bent over and twerking and doing all of this and thinking it's cool. And then now you talking about I'm a good woman, I'm wife material. Nigga, please. So, let's get right on into it. A fishing tool for women. As a man, a lot of men are using social media and dating apps as a fishing tool for women. Okay. So ladies, I want y'all to be aware of that when you do set your profile up and you say, hey, you know what? I'm trying to get out there. I want to connect with people. Well, that's what the purpose is. And I'm sure for a lot of you ladies on the same side, it's the same intention as men where you say, hey, well, I'm just casting a net as well because it'll save me time and it'll give me discretion because that person doesn't know who I might have interest in and how many profiles I have unless they have many profiles themselves at which they shouldn't judge you because they're doing the same thing as you. All right. So number 2, when it comes to how men use social media and dating apps, number 2 is it's a predatory breeding grounds. Say that again. It's a predatory breeding grounds. Give you a little story time. When it came to me, when I was single, I used to use my dating platform that I was trying to use was Black Planet. That it didn't last too long, but during that time, I don't know, it was early 2000s or whatever, mid 2000, 2008, 9, whatever. When I was single, I'm like, listen, this is a platform for people to meet, to connect, to link with each other. And I'm using this as a predatory breeding grounds because I'm trying to do my thing. And in order for me to be able to do that, now this platform had been created for people to connect. And all I knew was my dogs and my partners was saying, hey, man, listen, I got such and such and such and such off of Black Planet. Or I got this one and that one off of this platform or this channel. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. Well, dang. Since that's how it's being done, I'm going to get into the rat race myself. I'm going to get into the game myself in order to please myself. And like I said earlier, this is a selfish tool because most people aren't using it. Not all, but most aren't using it because they want to find that one that they want to give themselves to. Normally they want to find that one that can give themselves to them in whatever form or fashion they're looking for. And so for a man, a lot of the times it's a fishing tool in order to be able to breed and have it be a predatory breeding grounds, because we looking at it as men like, you know what, I'm trying to see how many notches I can get on my belt. I'm trying to see how many beautiful and attractive women I can attract. I'm trying to gauge my own appearance and attraction that women have for me. Because why? When I see them clicking on and showing interest and liking and hearting and reaching out and things of that nature, that's an ego boost. That's an ego stroke that make me feel like, oh, okay, cool. I ain't so bad then. Now I'm more confident to reach out to certain women, and ultimately the intention is to get my own physical pleasure and my own physical gain. And ultimately, a lot of women, you believe that the men that are on here are just as genuine as you are in terms of the intentions, and that's completely false. I'm sorry, like I said, this is not in all cases, but let's if we line 10 men up and we line 10 women up, then if I ask 10 men, well, why are you on Christian Mingle? Why are you on this and that platform? It's going to be, hey man, I'm trying to meet somebody. Okay, well, what is the intention of the meeting? What, when you find that person, what is? Oh, most of them ain't saying to find my wife. Sorry, I mean it is. I mean, I can't care as much how you feel enough to not keep it real. So I'm trying to keep it real and be honest that if we line 10 men up, I would say 7 out of those 10 men are going to say, hey man, I'm trying to see what it is, right? With what that translates is to, I'm trying to get off. I'm trying to do me. I'm trying to see how many beautiful women I can come in contact with the ultimate goal is to get my rocks off. Now, when we line those 10 women up, the intention may be, hey, listen, I want to connect with people. I want to network with people. And ultimately, this is a platform to do that. If I meet somebody, so be it. But even if I do meet someone, it's not with the intention to just have sex and keep moving. It's with the intention to actually create something and build something that can actually be long lasting. So that's the true intention. That's the true difference between men and women, because like I said, we can't cast a broad net over everybody. Nothing is absolute. Nothing is 100%. It's so many billions of people on this earth that, I can't personally say that any and everybody that's on this app, this is the only thing they want. Because there's too many success stories as well. Too many people who have connected and actually made something out of a relationship. They've grown into a marriage. Now they've got kids. They got the white picket fence. They're closely locked and connected. And it's all good. And it started from a black people meet or something like that, right? But for the most part, like I said, the reason why I speak the way I do is because, in my opinion, it's not in enough number to actually make a case in point to stand on. So just because you may know, hey, my girlfriend met a dude off of Black People Meet and now they married it. Okay, well, cool. That's 1 out of how many billion people on this earth. So even though that may have happened, that is the exception, not the rule. So I'm giving you tonight the rule, the real, because the exceptions aren't in enough number to really compare and make a point to say that, hey, well, no, if I get on here, more likely I'm going to find my husband or my wife. That's not going to be. More likely you're going to find somebody who has their own selfish gain and intentions. And that may be you too, on the low. Like, if you be honest with yourself, it could be like, man, and if woman and all, yes, woman and all. I'm not trying to say that just because you're a woman that you don't also have the intention to meet somebody and say, hey man, he attractive, and it could go down, right? So yes, woman and all, man and all, it's the same across the board. Only thing I'm trying to make apparent is that when we compare men to women, the intention may be different. The intention for men is that we're looking at this as a fishing tool to be able to ultimately breed, have sex, and do our thing, and then be able, after that point, then say, okay, well, shoot, let me just, after this need has been serviced, then I might decide to see if I really want to get to know you. But at the end of the day, this whole get to know you is just a phase. It's just a facade for you to ultimately give me what I want. Which is why so many women feel like this is a crapshoot. It's a roll of the dice, even more so. It's you rolling the dice with not all the numbers on the dice. You know what I'm saying? And it is because ultimately, it sets you up for the okie doke, because the game is let me show interest, let me set up a meeting, and then once I set up a meeting, let me act like I'm really genuine, and hopefully it's in enough time for you to give me what I want, and then you'll really figure out that what I wanted wasn't a relationship.
Which is more damaging, ghosting the person or letting them know, hey, listen, you just not what I'm looking for right now?
Letting them know. You really done. Like, really.